All right, top billing. Breaking news out of Baton Rouge, where my man Joe Brady has finally been replaced as the passing game coordinator, the uber popular Joe Brady. And he is being replaced by longtime NFL offensive mind Scott Linehan. Can you believe that? So you talk about pushing all the right buttons. That is phenomenal to me. So I'm not going to sit here and say that I think this is going to be a success and this and that, whatever like that. I think the Tigers are going to be successful no matter what, right? I'm not saying they're going to win the national championship or anything, but of course they're going to field a very good squad because it's set up to be that way, and they're only going to me, improve as the years go on, right? Can't front talent, right? You cannot fake your way around talent, and LSU has a ton of it. So your man Scott Linehan's coming in, working with pieces that are already in place that will be going to the next level. For however long Scott Linehan is there, obviously this guy's an NFL lifer, but you never know how these things work out. So he's used to being at point in time in his career, he's been the man. I remember him at St. Louis. That didn't go too well for him. He was coming off the heels of that greatest show on turf. Actually, he was very bad. If we were going to talk about it, those teams were very bad and very disappointing. But, man, to me, he kind of redeemed himself. People are going to remember him recently from the Dallas Cowboys and everything, working with Tony Romo. But this is where I remember Scott Linehan absolutely crushing it. Maybe right after St. Louis. I don't know. But I remember he went to Detroit and was working with Matthew Stafford after Matthew kind of got over his injury problems. And they had that damn offense that pushed the ball down the field, something serious. I mean, it was extremely high risk, but Matthew Stafford had the arm strength for it. And it's funny, when I was thinking about Miles Brennan, I was thinking about comparisons and everything, and Matthew Stafford is one of the guys that came to mind because I remember, obviously not remember, Matthew Stafford is still alive. For all you people who only watch college football, people like Matthew Stafford is still alive. But Stafford having that hand cannon that he has, that howitzer, spraying the ball all over the yard, sometimes I thought he needed to learn how to take something off of it, and I feel the same way about Miles Brennan. So not saying Miles Brennan is Matthew Stafford, but if you're somebody like Joe Brady, if you're someone like Scott Linehan, working with a guy like Matthew Stafford in the past, or working with Tony Romo, Dak Prescott, and these guys, you've been around some guys that can absolutely sling it, and some of the better quarterbacks in the NFL, or some of the most talented. A guy like Matthew Stafford, to me, not the best or by any stretch of the imagination, but his talent level is crazy, and he had his best season to date. I think it was his third or fourth year. I remember he may have broken 5,000 yards, or just really shy, and that was when Calvin Johnson went off and they were pushing the ball down the field. They had it really reminded me of the greatest show on turf. So that's keeping in line with what LSU did this past season. So they want to take a step back there because Scott Linehan is all about passing the ball anyway, right? He wouldn't know a run, and he doesn't need to know a run, right? Because you're still going to have the great Steve Ensminger there, and he's going to be obviously calling the shots there. I'm not sure how they'll break that up. Maybe it'll be something different. Maybe Linehan will be the play caller. I don't know. But I know that getting an offensive mind like Scott Linehan next to a guy like Steve Ensminger, around those type of players, around a Coach O, and all the talent that's there in Baton Rouge, I don't see how it can go wrong. You know what I mean? I really don't. Now, like I said before, not saying they're going to win the national title or anything of that. I'm just keeping the main thing, and we're just talking about this offense and this passing offense. When you have a guy like Miles Brennan throwing to Terrace Marshall and Jamar Chase, some of these guys that they have, like a Trey Palmer, Eric Gilbert coming in, and Devontae Lee, like these guys are loaded, not to mention the run game that they'll have and the talent that they'll have to replace at the offensive line, but it's going to be talent there to do it. So I expect the offense to be still pretty good, right? Still be pretty good, and it's still going to be keeping in line with what they did last season as far as being a pass-first team. But they'll still want to control the line of scrimmage. We'll see how much, say, the run game coordinator or whoever's doing the run game gets, because that could be something as well, right? Maybe work somebody in, or maybe you work it into where you're in a spread to run, or you just never know. Sometimes you just got to reinvent yourself, but you're going to have to reinvent yourself anyway because the cast of characters have changed a little bit, but not too much, right? You lost the great juggler Joe himself, but it's still a ton of talent there. So anybody not thinking that out there is sadly mistaken. I've seen people talking about 6 wins and all this. To me, that's asinine. You should slap yourself, right? for sure. But, man, Scott Linehan, same kind of thing, man. 11 personnel, that was his thing. He would roll with 12 personnel a little bit as well, play a second tight end. But if you had to think about it, Scott Linehan's very much like a Joe Brady, or Joe Brady's like a Scott Linehan, because he's probably forgotten more football than Joe Brady has known, as he's had successful offenses in the NFL where Joe Brady has never had that, right? He never had a successful NFL offense, and he's never had his own college offense or anything like that. So you're bringing in somebody with a high football acumen, and you're bringing him into Baton Rouge. This is, I don't know. This is crazy. I don't know. It's crazy to me, man. Right? If you really know football, Scott Linehan being brought in as an assistant coach for a college football team to really just focus on the pass. I don't know what to tell you, man. But, hey, there you have it, man. Reduced splits, numbers, grips, plus splits from the numbers. He's going to spread it out, and they're going to try to drive that ball downfield. All right? But let me know what you think about that for you guys who do know who Scott Linehan is. And, well, we can keep it rocking like that. So it's pretty exciting news. I always like this type of stuff. It's my favorite part of football, schemes, infrastructure, program building, and all of that. And LSU is absolutely killing it right now. Recruiting, the product on the field, coaches, being able to recruit different coaches. Coach O has it all together, right? But with that being said, it's your boy Murf, the Underground King. Keep it locked right here. Top Billing Sports, and I am out. Peace.